Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell was a high school football star and valedictorian at Seattle's Garfield High School. Jimi Hendrix went there and Quincy Jones, too. Anyway, my friend John, Bruce was visiting along with the team, my friend John's private school, and he got this picture of Bruce for the school newspaper. And Bruce Harrell, future mayor of Seattle, already a badass, is wearing a floor length, wide lapelled, double breasted leather coat. Hey, it's Doomed Planet, episode 85, Graffiti Wars.
The rise of prolific graffiti is symbolic of our city's historical neglect of our walls and our people.
You know, everything is a war these days. There's some losers are bidding on the contents of storage containers, and it's storage wars. Well, Graffiti Wars is pretty damn violent. Isn't that right, Graffiti Teen?
Damn right.
Yeah, we got Graffiti Teen.
What's up?
Formerly known as Communist Teen on an earlier episode here. You know, we were going to discuss the history of graffiti, cavemen doing stuff, graffiti in Pompeii, but I thought we'd just jump right into Bruce Harrell, who just today held a press conference, and we'll rip some of that from YouTube. The Seattle mayor praises Amazon's back to office policy in his State of the City address. What do you know about Bruce Harrell, Graffiti Teen?
He's a chud. He hates graffiti.
He's a chud who hates graffiti. Okay, well, Seattle-style chud, right? He's a Democrat, big city Democrat. What does that mean anymore? It's all about supporting corporate America. Bruce applauded the region's largest employer. This is from GeekWire, by the way, Kurt Schlosser. Can you imagine, 20 years ago, I could not imagine that I'd be reading something from GeekWire. Bruce applauded the region's largest employer for trying to force people to get back to work. I'm very pleased that employers like Amazon announced and recognized that coming back to work downtown is a great thing. Of course, Graffiti Teen, Amazon has invested billions of dollars in real estate downtown for their campus. So have you studied Marx at all, or real estate? Is that part of the capitalist scheme?
Of course, yeah.
Anyway, 45-minute speech. Harrell touched on his efforts to rebuild the city's urban core, fight crime, and improve public safety, and tackle homelessness. Tell me about what you know about how the city tackles homelessness.
Sweeps, arrests, and nothing that will...
Yeah, sweeps, that terminology, you're going to sweep the dirt out of the gutter. That's some Nazi Germany shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Harrell called downtown a special place in the country. He's bullish on the city's urban core. Downtown is a laboratory for the future. Again, this guy has been in city government forever. City planners, Downtown Seattle Association commended Harrell. That's a big business corporate group. We share his belief that we have the opportunity. It's a cabal of real estate people and other rich people. Harrell's speech didn't call out the tech industry specifically. He has 5 pillars that frame his public safety mindset. All right, so what about graffiti? I see it around town.
Graffiti is something many people do as an activity because it is fun or for other reasons. It usually includes vandalizing private or public property with a word that you identify as, And then you can also
That's your
style it in
tag.
various ways.
It's your tag.
Right.
Okay, so jumping right into anyone in Seattle driving around would see EAGER.
Yes, yes.
And I know that he and someone else were arrested and they're being...
Yeah, EAGER and SATN were arrested, I'd say probably about a month ago. And they are on bail right now, but they're some of the city's most prolific taggers, and they're being charged with multiple felonies for their estimated $300,000 of combined damage
Right, so just
from both of their tags.
vandalism is a felony if the damage amount exceeds a certain... I mean... Yeah, so, I see EAGER crosses the line, though. He will tag anything. There's no... I know there is some sort of a graffiti code where people generally agree, like, not to cover other people's work or to...
Yes,
to, write on a business that's open. Like, I'm all for doing it on an abandoned building or whatever, but... I don't know, man. What's the deal with crossing the line?
There is a set of guidelines, I guess, or unsaid rules in the graffiti community about what you can tag. The major important thing is to not go over other people unnecessarily.
About someone's car, though. They have a brand new car.
Cars are off limits for the most part. Semi trucks are not. You can tag a truck. Also,
you can tag a semi truck. Okay.
For I've been seeing these self-driving cars more recently going around Seattle that are operated by a private company. I wouldn't really say those are off limits. I know that many people tag.
In general, I would agree that maybe at a certain point, some of this stuff should be open season.
Many people tag like the rental cars that kind of work like Lime bikes. Lime bikes are a big thing for tagging, definitely. There's good surface area on a Lime bike to tag.
All right, and I hope to God that you are not involved in these high altitude tags. What is that, for bragging rights? Like a sign over a highway where you will die if you fall?
Heaven spots, as they're called.
Heaven spots.
These are
heaven spots. Okay, why is that called that?
Yeah. These are locations that you may or may not go to heaven for attempting to put your tag on. And there are various heaven spots around the city.
When you turn 18, will you think twice about doing this kind of thing? Because the laws change.
It's easier to get away with crimes involving vandalism and malicious mischief, which is usually the charge for graffiti. When someone is like charging you for property destruction, when you're a minor, it's easier to get away with that.
I don't hear too many stories about graffiti people getting arrested or whatnot, but do you really want to be in some alley in Sodo when the cops show up?
No, it's part of the activity very often is running away from police. So, but there's not many arrests going on in Seattle for graffiti, and it's definitely not an issue that can be solved.
It's not a priority for Seattle.
No. Police don't usually care enough. If they see you in the act of vandalism, they will probably go for you. Or if they get called.
Okay, and I'm sure there's many tricks and everything where if you have lookouts, you're working as a team, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so, of course.
Watching for activity. The thing that might concern me more is that a graffiti teen might encounter an angry owner of a truck or something. I mean, we're in the United States. Everyone has a gun, right? So there's that. In general, I mean, there's a million tags out there and very few arrests. I mean, it's what the level of saturation of graffiti in Seattle is pretty high. It's really compared to 30 years ago when I moved here.
It's a it's the graffiti capital of the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, it is not Portland.
Well, Seattle and Vancouver have very active graffiti scenes, and Portland does as well.
My dad used to take me to New York City in the 1970s. Believe it or not, I'm that old. And or actually, this is the 80s. I was visiting a friend who went to NYU, and I saw Keith Haring just standing on the street talking to people. Some couple people surrounding him knew who he was. You're familiar with this 80s graffiti scene like Basquiat and Keith Haring and shit from New York at that time, and the fact that all the subways were plastered with graffiti and stuff.
Somewhat, yeah. I know a bit about the New York City graffiti history.
At first, I thought we'd do a deep dive into that, but I guess like modern graffiti originated in the early 60s in Philadelphia and moved to New York and stuff. But are there artists that do something besides just the letters and numbers? Like, that's what I would encourage you to do, but I know you have a tag that you've worked on that I won't mention, but I kind of like the Keith Haring and the Basquiat stuff. They're doing doodles and art and cartoons.
Yeah,
are dudes that do that?
There's a large variety of different things that can be considered graffiti that people put up. There are characters that can identify a tagger, and there are a vast array of different styles that people come up with, different ways to express themselves.
This is a painful question, but in other countries, especially those with repressive governments, there's a lot more political graffiti, not just in France, but Peru, everywhere. Is there any of that in Seattle?
Definitely.
There is definitely.
If you go around Seattle for long enough, you're gonna see.
I see stickers, lots of anti-cop stickers, right?
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of political messaging, mostly.
Okay.
Anti-capitalism, anti-cop.
Good. We need more of that. I want to see more of that and less of just like Doodlebug. All right, Doodlebug, you can draw. That's great. Well, tell me something. I don't know. Like, all good art is political, so just keep that in mind. We're getting to the meat of our podcast. Thank you again. We're with Graffiti Teen, formerly known as Communist Teen. It's one of our most popular episodes as far as downloads, by the way. Of course, you realize that I am a loser and that the audience for this podcast is actually very small. Are you aware of that?
I am aware of that.
From Crosscut. This is from October 27th, so we'll go back. Mayor Harrell details proposed efforts to beautify city, address surge in graffiti. October 27th. His plan would increase graffiti removal, create outlets for murals and artistic expression, support victims, expand volunteer activities, and increase enforcement options. Now, I don't know if you know this, but there are some laws passed in the 90s saying that if you're a business owner that's been tagged, it's your responsibility to pay for the graffiti removal. So I assume that's what they mean by victims.
Yeah.
Today, Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell detailed elements of his One Seattle Graffiti plan. Are you taggers aware of this
Yes.
In general, to beautify Seattle. Yeah, boy, go to Youngstown, Ohio, or somewhere. Seattle is a very beautiful city, and the graffiti, I think, adds a nice touch, a human touch. Bruce is going to address a surge in graffiti through new strategies and proposed budget investments. Since 2019, so right before the pandemic, incidents reported by the public, graffiti incidents have grown 50%, including 20,000 reports. Do you think that's like 5 busybodies that are calling 20,000 times to report on graffiti?
No, there's definitely a tangible surge in graffiti over the pandemic, just because of the lockdown making it a lot easier. Yeah, there's definitely more since the pandemic started.
Absolutely. It makes Seattle more of a real city to me, grittier in a way.
Yeah.
The mayor's envisioning a more beautiful city. Ugh, it's all talk, of course. I mean, he's been in city politics on the city council for a long time. Our values of creativity, inclusion. Not only does tagging and graffiti detract from the vibrancy of our city, there are tangible impacts on communities targeted by hate speech. All right, we'll get to that. That's a bullshit argument. Like, graffiti can be used for hate speech, but that's like 1/10% of losers are doing hate speech. Would you?
Yeah, that's horseshit.
Would you agree
the graffiti scene is not at all.
There was a mural defaced and vandalized with inflammatory graffiti. As many of you know, they often, as we've seen in certain communities, contain hate speech. This is not artwork in the traditional sense, but often these are very mean-spirited and hateful comments as well.
So you know these people just at least by their nicknames, or you meet these, this group in general?
Yeah, I know a lot of people do graffiti here.
It's a big, I don't know, there's so much out there, you might probably not know a lot of the people.
There are a lot of, it's a huge scene, which, for the size of the city, the amount of people who are doing graffiti is...
That's right. Seattle, we might think we're the center of the universe. It's only 1 million people. It's like smaller than Columbus, Ohio.
King County is probably 1 million people. Seattle is actually 700,000.
Yep. Bruce wants to envision a more beautiful Seattle with murals and canvases that reflect our values. So he wants to commission artists to paint murals, right? And you see that if you're taking the light rail through SoDo.
If a mural is ugly, we go over it.
Nice. That's going to be the theme of the podcast. The mural is ugly, we go over it.
We don't like murals.
Okay, but in general, some of these murals, they might even be being created by graffiti artists. Some of them are good, so you're just going to kind of stay away from those, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think the best strategy the city can come up with is doing more George Floyd murals, or like painting like the names of victims of police violence, because even though it is very performative, you can't really go over that. So
okay, you're being a cynical nihilist, Generation Z nihilist there, but I'm remembering, right, Seattle and other places did these big street signs that were mostly temporary, Black Lives Matter painted on a giant block in Washington, D.C. And incidents of graffiti had dramatically increased. The progress requires a one Seattle approach. This is Mayor Harrell's PowerPoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 6 major pillars. Let's go over this. Implementing best practices. The proposed budget will enhance staffing and resources for Seattle Public Utilities graffiti rangers. Do you know of the Graffiti Rangers?
I think that's just like a city-sponsored team that just paints over graffiti.
Right. And why do they use gray to paint over graffiti?
Gray on concrete? I don't know.
Right. So, okay, the Graffiti Rangers will easily remove graffiti using specialized equipment and effectively discourage re-tagging. Who believes that discourages re-tagging when you...
It does. Well, there are spots to do graffiti where there is no... Well, we call this buff. We call this buffing when people go over... When the city or graffiti rangers or private businesses go over graffiti that has been created. There are places that are consistently buffed, like even every other day, that are just kind of pointless to tag on.
Okay.
But you'll still see tags on them. But the amount that it discourages graffiti is usually reliant on how frequently they're rebuffing the location.
Isn't there a Sundance winning documentary film about graffiti removal?
Yeah,
it's narrated by Miranda July, the hipster girl.
It's the art of
the
graffiti buff. Or,
the art of graffiti removal.
Something like that.
Have you seen that?
I have seen that.
Do you? I'm guessing you and your bros are watching all this stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wild Style. Do you know of that from the 70s?
Yeah, I do.
I think I'm on some Seattle graffiti Instagram. Instagram seems to be a place.
Yes,
is that a thing?
Graffiti is very... Instagram is a platform for graffiti enthusiasts to share pictures of graffiti between each other, and it has become a very popular gathering space for members of the graffiti community.
Is it normal to tag something and then take a picture, or do you come back?
Yeah, usually, it's normal to take a picture right after.
So, okay, this 6-point plan. Mayor Harrell wants increased assistance to remove graffiti on private property.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Half hour, I come over and paint out the new stuff. And it's less and less because they're getting tired of getting their things painted over, I guess.
Once or twice a month, longtime Wallingford resident Denise Chase grabs a paint roller from her basement and hits the streets of Seattle cleaning up graffiti.
New resources will be offered to victims of vandalism. An abatement kit pilot program and the Office of Economic Development's new storefront repair fund. Okay, so basically they're going to pay a buffer to come so you don't have to do it to fix your graffiti.
This is a new one, a brand new one. Yes. And look at that. Looks horrible. Shame on them.
Marie Keltoff doesn't take kindly to people who go around spray painting her city, but instead of complaining, she's doing something about it.
It's better to be part of the solution than part of the problem.
The Many Hands Art Initiative. This will engage with artists, businesses, volunteers, and others to activate spaces with art, mitigating and preventing graffiti. The Seattle Office of Arts and Culture seeking partners to install new public art. Okay, so that's basically we'll pay you to do a mural so we can show that the city government is trying to encourage graffiti art in that direction into sanctioned, safe street art. That's literally what it says. So, I mean, but if you were getting $500 or something, would you?
A lot of people find ways to, you can monetize it, but we don't really like street art. We don't like that term.
Street art is not a term.
Yeah, it is a term for.
You don't like that term?
Yeah. It's yeah. What we do is not street art.
What is it?
Graffiti.
Graffiti. I like that. Goes back to the caveman days.
Graffito, as it is called by historians.
Mayor Harrell's plan will provide up to 1,000 graffiti abatement kits and train individuals and groups on how to use them effectively. Again, that's a bucket of paint and a roller, right? I mean, what else would that be?
Yeah.
All right. The city will launch, this language is so ridiculous. And again, you have to realize just city government, putting it in perspective, nothing has changed. This doesn't mean anything. It's just talk, right? The city will launch a new Days of Caring in each city district. Bring volunteers and community groups together. New approaches to enforcement. All right, here we go. Working with the city attorney's office and Seattle police, the plan will increase enforcement of graffiti offenses.
So working with our city attorney's office and the Seattle Police Department, we're working to increase the enforcement of graffiti offenses. We will work with the defense bar. We will understand from community leaders what's going on with this activity.
Have you seen that or heard of that? What is the word amongst in the Seattle graffiti wars? Have you heard of any? Oh, they're really cracking down.
Yeah, that's kind of like, basically, if you go through the actual legislature that has been passed, it's just investment in buffing and like investment in private businesses' ability to cover graffiti.
Have you heard more? There's more cops around.
Oh yeah. There is like a very high police presence in many neighborhoods in Seattle, which it is not definitely not related to graffiti, but
okay,
you know that.
So you're not hearing that, oh, so and so got busted, other than like high profile EAGER or anything. That's not a thing.
No, I have friends who have been arrested.
Oh. So more than in the past?
It's hard to say. They're like
who's arrested. What do they charge them with? A misdemeanor and then set them loose, or
felony malicious mischief? But if the charges,
that charge doesn't stick on graffiti.
Yeah, if enough time passes and the city doesn't do anything, then the charges will get dropped, and that's usually what's happened.
Right. Here, striking a balance with larger penalties for the most prolific taggers, right, like EAGER, and expanded diversion options for low-level offenders. That will include community service work. So if you're a first time getting popped for graffiti, but they really want to not just let you go but come down on you, they're going to make you do community service or something. Or alternative avenues for creative expression. Like, you 4 kids have been busted for graffiti. You're going to grunge camp. We want you to learn to be 3-chord rock musicians. And finally, the Bruce is going to continue the collaboration with the Washington State Department of Transportation. WSDOT has reprioritized cleanups along their rights of way. I guess a lot of this graffiti, you're tagging what is Washington Department of Transportation properties, road signs and shit. Or all those walls on I-5, right? All that concrete.
Definitely. But bus windows are often scribed.
No, what is that technique? Is that a diamond?
It's called scribing. Yeah, you can do it with really anything, but like a lot of people use like diamond tip scribes or sandpaper or Dremel bits.
Apparently you can fill You could pressurize a fire extinguisher, put paint in that, and then do these giant tags that are like 20 feet tall. I'm trying to think. There was a train wreck. Remember that? Like 5 years ago, there was a train wreck right beneath this bridge that had a giant tag. Remember what that was?
I think it was Lab Rat.
Lab Rat, absolutely. Is that young gentleman still with us?
Yeah, he's still, he's probably the, one of the biggest taggers in the city.
Is he Seattle?
Yep, he's Seattle. He's all over the place.
That's good. I mean, you hit the jackpot. Sorry, the jackpot as a graffiti artist when there's a massive fatal train wreck and all the photos that go all around the world show your tag.
Yeah, a lot of people get in the news, and that's like a really exciting thing if your tag gets shown in the news.
So these graffiti priorities are going to rely on $944,000 in the mayor's proposed annual budget. That's not, in the scheme of things, that's the price of one middle-class Seattle house. That's not going to... Do you think that amount of money going to all this performative crap is going to do anything?
No.
Mayor Harrell announced this plan in front of Fats Chicken and Waffles.
Yeah, Central District.
The Central District restaurant, home to an iconic Martin Luther King Jr. mural that was vandalized with graffiti earlier this year. Okay, here's how they're going to end this whole article with this: graffiti is all hate speech. So, okay, this mural was done by James Crespinell, and just someone I know of from the Belltown days. He used to have a storefront on 2nd Avenue, and he and his son kind of controlled a market on murals. Do you know this guy?
I do not, but I do.
So he did this mural.
I know this mural, yeah. And there's other Central District
many years ago,
murals.
there was a thing in The Stranger, the photo of the mural taken by Kelly O, someone else I know and used to work with, and James Crespinell he compared himself to Leonardo da Vinci. And again, this is a mural, it's just based on a photograph, right? There's a technique for taking someone else's photograph and making a mural, right? A grid system or something. So at that point, I thought, all right, whatever, this guy. But the thing is, so it's very sad. The mural was vandalized with some N-word something, racist graffiti. And they did a GoFundMe, and it raised $18,000 for James Crespinell, who's kind of this boomer white guy, to fly in from his winter home in Mexico to fix the graffiti. And then if you see it now, there's this giant signature Crespinell, and it's based on a famous photograph that someone else took. But the fact that he spent maybe a day fixing this and he got $18,000, like, gee, what could one of you guys have done with that amount of money?
Yeah, it doesn't exactly make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And then there was some talk about, well, we're going to have a security camera there now, and I'm going to add a special anti-graffiti shellac. None of that happened.
This place where we are today is sort of symbolic of the Central District and what's happening here, and that's why we thought it very appropriate to start this kind of work here.
Well, there's also a reason that there's so many mural. There are a lot of Martin Luther King murals in the Central District, and also other important Black figures and BLM murals. That used to be a Black neighborhood, pretty much, and now it's not. And it's
sort of like a way for the real estate developers there to justify their right down the street from Uncle Ike's is a giant new condo, whatever, and there are all these murals on the bottom floor of Ella Fitzgerald and whatever Black figures, and it's like, okay, this used to be a Black neighborhood, and now there's a giant condo owned by some rich white people, but we're going to paint a mural here so you can remember your heritage, right?
Exactly.
Ding dong. Hello, this is Alex. I'm editing this episode. Full disclosure, I used to work for Uncle Ike. I consider him a valuable associate and an important part of my history of hanging out with a bunch of wild people in Seattle. I wrote for his marijuana blog. Thank you. Now back to our show.
Bad decisions.
All right. This is what people are saying. Rabbi Will Berkowitz, CEO of the Jewish Family Services. The city took swift action and immediately removed graffiti from the Temple de Hirsch Sinai. Sadly, we're living in a time where hateful acts and violence are rising against historically marginalized communities. So this rabbi, some chuds vandalized the synagogue, but, it's sort of a false equivalency because, again, that's horrible. Those people are Nazi chuds, but that's not what graffiti is. To have that in this article, right?
Yeah, they're obviously trying to misrepresent,
They're misrepresenting, like, graffiti is joy and art and expression, and it's not about the 0.1% of 1% of Nazi chuds that do this. So then, okay, Aaron Goodman, executive director of the South Seattle Business Association. Neighbors and small businesses have been seriously harmed by the surge of graffiti over the past few years. Buildings and signs are too often defaced with hateful messages that have no place in our community. So she's taking it a step further, just equating graffiti with hateful messages.
Yeah, they're trying to misrepresent.
With these business associations, especially this one, they work for capital, they work for power, they work for big corporations, but as PR people, but they use these small businesses or medium-sized businesses as straw men. In truth, they're financed by and promote Amazon and Boeing and that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, and then Erin Goodman, you remember her? She's, it's a small town.
No.
Okay, well, that's someone you would know.
We need help. I have businesses that are broken into every single night.
Erin Goodman is the president of the SoDo Business Improvement Area.
SoDo is up 31% in reported crime.
All right, God, it's painful. What else can we do to wrap up graffiti wars? Do you ever see poop in the alleys, like human poop?
Graffiti in the alleyways?
Poop. Human poop.
Oh, human poop graffiti?
No, but that should be a genre. That should be something you should do.
I'm sure people do that, yeah. There's a lot of naked graffiti. Poop. That's a challenge to go do graffiti naked.
Okay. What is the future now that Bruce Harrell has declared a fake war on graffiti in Seattle? What is the future for you and your compadres?
Graffiti will continue as per usual. There will probably be increasing police budgets as I grow older. As capitalism follows its eventual decline into fascism. Do
you think fascists are going to be more tolerant of the graffiti? Like the cops, if we say cops are fascists, they are ignoring you. What if full-on fascism hits? How tolerant are they going to be?
They're not going to be very tolerant, but there will still be graffiti. It will find a way to survive.
I like that. That's a revolutionary.
Graffiti is not that revolutionary, I'd say. It's really like. I used to think that it was a form of activism when it's really not. I'd say more radical forms of property destruction to sabotage capitalism or military, police would be, like preferable forms of activism. Graffiti is more of like it's almost a game. It's almost a game. Like it's just something we do as a challenge, as a game. It's how we get it's like just this fun thing. It's good to walk around and become really familiar with your city. With graffiti.
Join the graffiti team. Become familiar with your city and vandalize and destroy it.
Yes, exactly.
All right. What about? I mean, if you'd see in France, like some graffito artists will take out a bank and just spray it with a fire extinguisher. That's good, right?
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Okay, but
have you heard of katsu?
Katsu, yeah, it's a delicious breaded pork sandwich.
It's also a graffiti artist, and he does public stunts like that, where he fills up a fire extinguisher with paint and sprays down a bank, or
Okay, so that's, I mean, if you have, I know maybe you scoff at Banksy, but he is a hero to me. Like, all art is political. He definitely makes his statements out there. It's not just a pretty picture, right?
I don't like Banksy.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he does not. I wouldn't call him a graffiti artist, and
he's a poser.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, CIA asset like Bellingcat and so many other organizations. See, is Banksy a CIA asset?
Yes.
Yes.
Banksy is a CIA asset.
Okay. Well, so now we have you on tape saying that graffiti is not revolutionary enough because you're not blowing shit up, and that Banksy is a fraud. So, you sure? Do you want me to go and edit those things later?
No.
All right. Kids today, you gotta love their revolutionary spirit. Thank you, Graffiti Teen. This has been Doom Planet episode 85, Graffiti Wars.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
The state of our city is that we are ready and willing to put in the hard work. Let's do it together. One Seattle. Thank you very much.